sun peeks through the haze, and birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. The front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore, morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore, morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good to see you. Good to see you. Time to get up. It's been a couple days. It has been a couple days. I've still been making content, been editing a lot of stuff, getting stuff, doing a lot of content that I've been putting off that I really wanted to do. If you guys didn't check it out yesterday, I had an interview with Coach Dave Christensen, who is a coach I worked for well before I ever thought about coming into the military, and who definitely shaped my life. So that was a really good interview. I enjoyed doing it. I am going to clip out my college football picks because he and I did that. So that's going to go out in a separate video. Let's see who's here this morning. We've got TC. There we go, TC. We got Nancy, Linda Early. Good morning. Good morning. We got Joan Hageman. Good morning. Joan Walton. Good morning. We got Karen's Books here. We got Bestie. Good morning. Who else we got here? People are definitely trickling in. I was sharing everything out. Yeah, so was doing a lot of stuff yesterday, and one thing I'm probably gonna do a video on. Well, actually, I don't know. I'm still kind of figuring it out. But yesterday, the Trump administration lost at the Supreme Court, which I find funny because it was they denied his motion for a stay. This was on the National Guard going to Chicago, and he had been ruled against in federal district court. Hey, Hellhound, good to see you. Hey, Coop, good to see you. He was ruled against in the federal district court, then ruled against partially in the appeals court. He appealed that, and the president has the ability to take things straight to the Supreme Court and say, hey, this is So important, we need a ruling. So he took it to the Supreme Court and he was denied, but it was a stay. Like all these people, hey Gary, good to see you. All these people were talking about like he lost the case. The case is still going on. It's just right now he cannot use the National Guard for law enforcement. Um, what's the term? Law enforcement s- supplemental duties. They're not actually enforcing the law, but uh, they are there fulfilling administration type of stuff. So they are there, but the judge said no, you can't use them for that. Uh, they were using they weren't using the Insurrection Act. So that's what puts that case different than the one from California and Oregon. Uh, in those cases, there has been property damage. Like there were protests. They did set fire in Portland to the federal court. Um, there has been, incidents. So with that, it, you know, the military can always protect federal property, always. And they could in this case, but there aren't instances. Like they didn't point to instances. But there's a couple nuanced things about it that I really do want to talk about. So this was only, by my count, only Trump's second Supreme Court loss, and it wasn't like a major loss. It was just a loss on the stay, and they were very narrowed too. They said no, we're going to look at it from this here, and the administration was not talking about the Insurrection Act, which a lot of people were bringing up as part of this. That was never invoked. So that's why it's different than those other cases. Those other cases, the Insurrection Act was absolutely invoked. Um, so those were easy wins for Trump. With this one, a little bit harder of a win. I did read Justice Kavanaugh. He agreed with the majority, but he very he wrote his own opinion that was very limited. The dissent I thought was really good. That was written by Justice Alito and Justice Thomas. So I thought it was very interesting. But there's a lot of people, so many people, they just look at the headline when it comes to the Supreme Court and they just talk about the headline. The, it really gets fascinating when you get down into the meat and potatoes because, um, yeah, it just is very interesting to see how they're deciding things because that gives you insight as to how these things are going to go. There is another story I want to talk about. This one here. So the DOJ had put out this letter as part of the Epstein files, and let's see if they have a picture of it. If not, I can find a picture of it. Um, okay, yeah, so it's not there, but it's a letter to Larry Nasser from Jay Epstein, and the left was out there just touting this, and they were like, look, all the stuff we've been talking about, it's all out there, it's been happening." And yeah, the letter was like within 2 hours, I saw people saying, "Yeah, no, this is fake." So it was a loss for the admin either way. Well, not a loss on the case, a loss for the stay. So what they were trying to do, uh, like in the interim, they can't do. So, I mean, yeah, it's a loss, but it's not like it's not a final loss. Like, and that was also part of the stuff that the Supreme Court, they're like, no, we can only rule on this stay by what the federal judge ruled, and based on everything that was argued, we can only rule this way. And, and that's what Kavanaugh was saying. He was like, hey, if you had argued from this way or this way, I may be inclined to change my decision. So, what that means is Trump could write a whole new executive order, federalize the National Guard again under what Kavanaugh was saying. And again, Supreme Court sometimes tips its hat. and saying, okay, well, we could do this, and there we go. How about the Libyan plane crash in Turkey? Don't know a thing about it. Haven't followed anything. Um, but yeah, this whole letter. Um, is this got a picture? Okay, I'm not a robot. Yeah, so this is the letter here, and it's yeah between Jay Epstein and Larry N. And I saw where the FBI had already, or it wasn't the FBI, it was news organizations were like, yeah, this is bullshit. Um, oh, did that not show you guys the letter? Okay, yeah, it did. Okay. But yeah, they said the writing does not appear to match Jeffrey Epstein's. The letter was postmarked 3 days after Epstein's death out of Northern Virginia when he was jailed in New York. The return address did not list the jail where Epstein was held, did not include his inmate number, which is required for outgoing mail. So yeah, that was it was a bullshit thing that the left was like, see. Y- So many of these things with the Epstein, like so much of it is fake. And that's why I keep saying people. uh Ghislaine Maxwell was a Mossad operative, just like her dad was. Her dad, Robert Maxwell, famously a Mossad operator. Uh, so Jeffrey Epstein, no one knows where he got. We know he got some of his money working with Les Wexner, but where did he get the rest of his money? It came from Mossad. This was all Mossad op, the whole Epstein thing. Yeah, 23andMe is a risky gift. um, This woman right here, she sued the IRS to have her pets classified as dependents. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Can you stop? Crazy dog. Uh, Sharon Moore meltdown exposes toxic culture in Michigan football. Oh yes, it did. And if you didn't watch me and Dave Christensen, we talked about after we did our college football picks, we talked about the NIL and the college football, pretty much how it is right now. We talked about coaching changes. Coach Christensen retired before NIL had happened, and so he never really had to deal with it. But yeah, it's a significant change to college football. Significant change. Russell Brand faces two new charges of rape and sexual assault. The guys always seem creepy to me. He kind of played a creep in Saving Sarah Marshall. So how much of that was I agree with filing our pets as dependents. They are our babies. Yeah, no, that's insane. That's insane. Uh People who leave their estate to their pets. I understand wanting your pet to go to someone, who's going to take care of them and love them because there's a lot of bad pet owners out there. But yeah, leaving the dollars to a pet is just dumb. Uh-huh. Fixing the college football playoff isn't hard, and the participation ribbons, whatever. There's always going to be controversy. And we talked about that too. When there was 4 teams, number 5 and 6 were complaining. Now there's 12 teams, and 13, 14, and 15 are complaining. Uh, Generosity abounds as America's young people, but there's a catch. Okay, data shows that young adults today are far more inclined to generously donate their time, but some data points suggest they're not donating their money as readily as previous generations. We talked about this already. That's the key to happiness. If you were to volunteer for something that you care about, like passionately care about and you help people with whatever that issue is, you're going to be a happier person. We deserve some kind of kickback. No, we don't. No, we don't. You've got all those crazy animals. Uh, 20 best Christmas movies ever ranked. Yeah, I say Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I don't care. Uh, oh well, if it didn't take place at Christmas time, it would still be the same movie. There's a lot of movies like that. A lot of movies like that. Um, yeah, the Oklahoma, the graduate um graduate assistant was removed. Well, y- you're a graduate assistant. You're not even a professor with tenure. That's why you don't do shit like what they did. Um, yeah, someone can reference the Bible if you want to say, "Hey, uh, I okay, you reference the Bible, but you should reference other stuff." But a lot of people use the Bible. It's a relevant reference. Yeah, she cited the Bible and her religious beliefs in the essay. Yeah, there you go. It looks like Newsom is the next governor to fall after Waltz. It's something crazy. Like $1 billion is missing here that was supposed to go to homeless, uh, help the homeless people. It just shows you, like, yeah, it's the same type of scam that was happening in Minnesota, and it always happens in these states with one party rule. Democrat or Republican. When there's one party rule, you'll find corruption. Um, Ms. Kurth continues to deny she engaged in any arbitrary behavior, regardless of the student's work, and is considering all of her legal remedies. Yeah, you don't have any, including appealing this decision by the university. Yeah, you could do an internal appeal. I don't. I don't think they're gonna take it on for you. Filed a complaint of racial or religious discrimination and a great appeal. OU ruled in her favor on the grade appeal, saying the essay would not count toward her final grade. I did see where they were taking the essay and giving their own grades, and still so many of the things they were lining out and grading were just arbitrary. And it's like, that's the problem. That's the problem. Uh, there's going to be things, especially in college essays, that you don't agree with. And that's what we need our students to do, is to put their beliefs, have them challenged, have them ridiculed. That's how you get better beliefs. That's how you learn to defend your beliefs. I don't have that many animals. You've I know you've got your lizard and your birds. Oh, and you got a cat. And you got a cat. Uh, Yeah, in her essay, Folnicki argued that traditional gender roles should not be considered stereotypes. She cited the Bible to support her stance. Yeah, that is where most people are going to get that belief. It's where most people are. That eliminating gender in society would be detrimental because people would put people further from God's original plan for humans. Kurth said in her grading that Folnicki failed to use empirical evidence, calling parts of her essay offensive. And Kurth is trans. I'm sorry, but that is where a large majority of the people get their beliefs. Sorry, that's where it is. Petition has already over 2,000 signatures. Which petition? But yeah, so this is what's going to happen. Like, you can't say someone's wrong when it's a belief that a majority of people hold. You're pretty much saying your beliefs are worse than my beliefs, and you're making a judgment call on that. Now, citing empirical evidence, um, X and Y chromosomes. There you go. But that's not what the point of the essay was. There's this problem of, people try to use science to justify morality. Science doesn't do that. Philosophy and religion justify morality. Now, if you want to say, "Hey, I want a philosophical view of your morality," you can say that. And then someone could say, "Well, my morality is Judeo-Christian." So there you're not really like it's based in your religion, but you're not making a religious argument. You're making a philosophical argument. But that's not what was done in this case. Uh-huh. Or let's see what's going on over at Drudge. Um, Don says New York Times serious threat to national security after an Epstein investigation. Yeah, they buried stuff. They absolutely buried stuff. That's the problem with the media. Change.org to get rid of Timmy. I'll tell you right now, I don't believe in recalls. I'll tell you that. I don't believe in recall elections. I think they're stupid. I think they're primarily a waste of money and a distraction to the voters. And here's the thing, they're so easily manipulated. So easily manipulated. So yeah, I'm not like just beat them in the next election. There you go. Stop doing recalls. Recalls are pretty stupid. You're trying to undo will of voters. And yeah, it's dumb. You want goats? They'll be climbing all over your house. I would like a donkey. It just seems to me like something easy, but I'm not going to get a donkey. I like to travel. I like to be able to leave. Animals are an anchor to your home. Uh, Trump rape claim. I'm seeing people bring up Katie Johnson's. That's another video I'm going to do. You know what? I should record that today. Katie Johnson sued Trump in 2016. Okay. And you see a lot of these. The Daily Mail really did a lot of stories on it. And that was the woman who Gloria Allred said, "Hey, anyone who if you were at Epstein's Island and Trump was there, come forward, okay? And I'll handle your case. We'll sue." Gloria Allred was doing that pro bono, and she was doing it just to affect Trump in the presidential race. Well, Katie Johnson came forward and said, "Oh, yeah, yeah, that was me." Here's the problem. Katie Johnson lived here in 29 Palms and was a meth addict. She was a tweaker. And as soon as Trump was like, "Oh, we're going to countersue," and she realized, "Oh, I'm not going to make all the money that Gloria Allred told me I would," she dropped her lawsuit. The left is driving me nuts. The Epstein post, Trump. Yeah, they would have released it during the Biden administration. They would have released it during the 2016 if they had anything. They don't. We can't do anything that keeps us away for more than a day. That's true. That's true. Um, and eh, I'm not talking about you guys when I say this, but I find a lot of people out here have animals to fulfill emotional needs that they are not looking to fix. I'll say that. That's why there's a lot of people out here with animals that they can't take care of. And I've got friends like that. Like I've got a friend who can't goes from place to place, shitty housing situation to shitty housing situation because she has animals that she won't give up. And it's like, but you realize you're not giving these animals the best life. Give these animals to someone who does, and they're all rescues. And it's like, well, you're rescuing these animals, but you're not improving their life. There's a reason I don't have a million animals in my house. I've got my dog for a purpose, and then I got the cat for a purpose. Yeah, see, James hand Trump major defeat on National Guard. It's not a major defeat. It was it was a it was a defeat on emotion, like on a stay. Trump, and the thing is, they gave Trump like Kavanaugh kind of told him, look, if you still want to do this, you could do it this way. Uh-huh. Yeah, Zelensky's coming to play. Like he's trying to move towards a peace deal finally. Jesus, like it's just Zelensky and Putin. They're cut from the same mold. They really are. Neither of them wants to give an inch. Well, that's why I said I wasn't saying it about you, Georgie, but there are people here where I live who absolutely like they get animals to fulfill an emotional need, and it's like just go to therapy, just go to therapy. If you can't be home with your dogs and they're locked up all day, that's not the best situation for those dogs. I can understand. Hey, I got to work, but then I'm home the rest of the time. Totally get it. But that's not what is happening in a lot of the cases where I live. Mhm. Set for worst year since 2017. Well, yeah, because it's inflation. That's what inflation does. Thankfully, inflation's getting under control, but the damage is done. It's already done. That's what 4 years of record-setting inflation did. It really hurt the dollar, and it's gonna hurt the dollar for 10 years, at least 10 years. Uh, Russia plans to build nuclear power plant on the moon in the next few years. Hmm, good luck with that. That would be interesting. There's a lot of issues to that. Yeah, I only have cats and a dog. Gotta find someone to watch it when you want to go someplace. A lot of responsibility. I'm fortunate because I can take Glory with me. I'm very fortunate. But yeah, and here's the thing: if I'm going to be gone more than 3 days, I have someone come and check on my cat. Uh, 3 days is about as much as I'm willing to leave him. Cats are pretty independent, but even my cat, he needs to interact with people. He's a very friendly cat, loves people. Acts like a dick when like once he gets to know them and they pet him, he's like, okay, now I can be a dick to you. Uh, Jack Smith demands House release full videotape of his closed door deposition. Oh, good luck with that, dude. Isn't it funny how these people who relied upon the most secrecy when they were in charge now want full transparency when The shoes on the other foot. Isn't that hilarious? So funny. Speaking of transparency, ooh, I'm gonna tease you guys something. My haters are out there talking, and I've been sitting on it because why? I don't need to run to air when I find something out. I like to sit on it. And boy, do I ever have some things. Yeah, I've got their internal communications. Uh, I'll read one of them to you, which is just proof of what I've been saying about the haters. And some of these people think I give a shit about them. I don't give a shit about them. I don't. I do find it funny. I find it very funny. Okay, where is it at here? Nope, that's not it. All right. I gotta look somewhere else. I keep some of this stuff in some weird spots. He played an ISIS chant song today, stating it's the Australian UK national anthem. Um, just so you know, this is not an ISIS chant. This is the call to prayer. And if you don't know that, you're pretty dumb. So yeah, uh, I am going to be showing the internal communications of my haters because um there's a mole. There has been a mole for a long time. Uh so they're gonna scramble today because they do watch. They absolutely watch. They're gonna be scrambling today. But yeah, I've got a mole. And why is there moles? Because there are people just like you. You guys who constantly focus on the drama, just like John Lynette, constantly creating and focusing on drama. Uh, when you do that, you attract people who also like to instigate the drama. And yes, so you didn't think they would come to me? Oh, they came to me. They absolutely came to me. Oh, I see Sears here and Cynthia. I didn't say good morning to Cynthia and Sear. Good morning. Good morning. And Greg is Scotland. Good morning. Anyone else I forgot to say good morning to? Let me know. Good morning. Um, uh, oh yeah, yeah. There's moles. There's absolutely moles. And it's like this is where they are stupid. because all they want to do is drum up the drama. Okay. I'll eh, when I do my video, I think I'm doing it members only. So yeah, you'll have to check it out, members only. Skipper wants the money. They I want the money. Yeah, Trump administration to seize wages of student loan borrowers in default starting next month. Yeah, because they couldn't forgive student loans. That was illegal. And that's what happens when you then don't pay. Sorry, not sorry. That's the way it is. Um, yeah, if you guys could, um, I did my show the other day with April, and if you guys could, please send that form letter. Here, I'm gonna give a link to it. I'll put it here because what like these are families who trusted the VA who are now like this is like putting them into poverty. Like imagine your home. You buy a home and you've done all the inspections, you did everything right. And then you find out that the inspection actually wasn't done and now you have hundreds of thousands of repairs to do. Or it's completely condemned. You can't even sell it. Like imagine that. That's what these people are in. So please print off this form letter right here and just send it. There's addresses in there. Scroll down. I've got email addresses. I've got mailing addresses. Please send that. Just put your name to it and send it. Is all I ask. Nothing. You can print it off. You don't have to print it off. Mole soup is yummy. um, Canada is looking for you. Ugh, who would go to Canada? Canada's gotten so bad. Sorry for any Canadians watching, but yeah, I am not going to it like I would never move to Canada. Not currently. It has gotten so bad. No, you're not coming up here. Yeah, oh, I'm looking forward to this. I'm my son is a big Monty Python fan, likes their movies and stuff, and Spamalot is coming to LA. So we're gonna go see that. I've never seen it. Don't spoil anything for me because I hate that shit. Like I'm not a guy who goes to a lot of musicals or plays. Like I remember my ex, she wanted to see The Lion King. And I spent like 250 bucks and we went up to Vegas to see The Lion King and she fell asleep after the first 15 minutes. And I'm like, I've already seen this goddamn movie. Like there's nothing here that I'm going to see that like I was so like a part of me was like, "Can I leave and come back later and wake her up at the end of the show?" Because yeah, yeah, not my thing. Um, and I had someone ask me if I would go to the Sphere in Vegas for the what's it? Oh, oh, what's the name? Wizard of Oz. Let me just say, I hate the Wizard of Oz. I am not a fan of the Wizard of Oz at all. Like, I get it was a revolutionary movie. And it was revolutionary because of the whole Technicolor and everything. Um, yeah, it is not a good movie. Like, there's like people are, oh, I love it. No, you love the nostalgia around it. Like the movie itself is not very good. It's like Avatar. Avatar is not a good movie. Not a good movie at all. But because it was revolutionary in all of its CGI and stuff, it's Avatar is Dancing with Wolves in space. There you go. Not a good movie at all. Like, if you want to watch Dancing with Wolves, watch Dancing with Wolves. Why am I so out of focus there? My reason for not moving to Canada is nobody's going to take my shovels. I know what you mean, Wizard of Oz, not a like. And then all these people are like, oh, like they tried to say it was an allegory for the Depression. No, it wasn't. It came out before the Depression. It wasn't an allegory about the gold standard, yes, but that was being debated in the 1890s when Frank L. Baum wrote the fucking book. Like, there's so many stupid people, and no, I'm not gonna go watch Wicked. Wicked is about a book that was written in the 1970s. It's not canon. And even the canon of Wizard of Oz, Frank L. Baum rewrote shit. He retconned so much. Sometimes that can be good, but no. Yeah, it was about the gold standard in the 1890s. It was not about the gold standard in during the Depression, which is what there were emails saying that shit, and it's like all it takes is 15 minutes of just looking something up, and I mean, that's what. Why do you think the Scarecrow said, "If I only had a brain," because of the Know Nothings. Literally, the Know Nothings were a political party, primarily farmers. Um, oh, that's cool. Sorry, I've got my Facebook up, and someone I'm friends with had a thing up. Yeah, the movie was stupid. Yeah, and anyone who talks about it, like, okay, what did you like about the movie? Canada is super expensive. Yeah, wait until the Californians start moving to Canada. Canada's gonna do a complete 180 then. Um, I, I like some musicals. Um, yeah, some musicals are fine. I really want to see uh Book of Mormon. I'm really looking forward to that. Uh, but yeah, there are some musicals that no, no cat. The cat really wants to come up here. Come on, come on, I'm coming up. You're gonna be a pain in the ass until you get the chance to come up. Oh, now the dog's gonna come up. What do you want? You're like, well, you can't get attention if yeah, there was a Marine who this kind of went viral, called a guy an N-word lover, and then his wife was former um uh Air Force, and then called his command, and that went viral. And it's like I hadn't like I had a guy who was like, he's got free speech. No, you don't. If you're in the military, you do not have free speech. None at all. So I was joking about that. I was like, imagine him going into his sergeant major and saying, "Well, sergeant major, I have free speech." No, you don't. Star Kid and their musicals, especially The Man Who Didn't Like Musicals. Okay, I'll check that out. Someone said they should make Die Hard into a Christmas musical, and I think that would be hilarious. Oh shit. So I follow Yellow Flash. And Yellow Flash is a guy who talks about like comic books and video games and stuff. And all those things like for the most part do entertain me. And Marvel is rebooting Captain Marvel back to the sexy version after the brand collapses. Well. Because it's men who read comic books and it's men who go to comic book movies. Best thing about The Wizard of Oz was when the film ended, right? Like, yeah, a lot of the stuff about The Wizard of Oz is stupid. Return to Oz was stupid. Like, I have yet to see a good Wizard of Oz movie. The closest I got was what was the show? Uh, where it was a Disney show where like it was a town, but all the town was really all these fairy tale and like Disney characters and stuff. Um, uh, I'm drawing a blank on the names. One of you guys will know it. Any movie that is a remake from my childhood, I will not go and see. Yeah, a lot of them. A lot of them. Like, why are you trying to remake good movies? Like, what was the one? There was one that they just said they're going to do an all women version. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to see that. And someone was like, because you're sexist? No, because that sucks. Did you think Lady Ghostbusters was good? How about that shitty Ocean's 8 movie? Like, you're just doing a gimmick. Like, do women really want to be a gimmick? No. Like, I had no problem with the Ghostbusters, especially with doing the cast of kids. That I thought was actually pretty good because who likes Ghostbusters? Mostly kids. So that makes sense. Um, so I had no problem with but the Lady Ghostbusters, that was just stupid. Like, I tried watching it, I turned it off, and I'll tell you right where I turned it off was where the college professor fires them, or the college dean fires them, and he's giving them the finger. It's like, that's not like, that's stupid. It's just stupid. Yeah, Maleficent was good. Okay, here's why Maleficent was good. And I do like live action remakes like Maleficent because they changed the story. You saw it from a different perspective. When they redid Beauty and the Beast, it was the exact same movie and just reminded me that hey, the cartoon was great. This is a shitty version. Um, had they told it from someone from an outside perspective, would have probably enjoyed it. If Little Women was made into a movie, but it was recast as Little Men, right? Better not try and redo ET. Well, they're doing Gremlins 3, and like I don't want to see Billy as the main character. I actually what I really want is I want a Gremlins video game. Open world Gremlins video game where the Gremlins are attacking. Like to me that is a way better thing where I could play as Billy, I could play as Gizmo, let me rotate through the characters. I think that would be great. But a Gremlins 3 movie, okay. Um Spaceballs 2 is coming out. I will probably watch that just because I love Mel Brooks, and, I think they're gonna really make fun of there's now a reason to do Spaceballs 2 because they did all the prequels and sequels to Star Wars. So now there's a reason to, and there's a lot to make fun of. But, like, 20 years ago, doing a Spaceball 2 would have sucked. Today, it's got potential to be good. I wish I could think of the movie that they're doing like Lethal Weapon 5. No, no. I'm only good live action movies were Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. No, no, they weren't. Hellhound, sorry. Beauty and they were exactly the same as the cartoons. Uh, I'll tell you a movie that Disney should do in a live action remake is The Black Cauldron. Black Cauldron is a it was a movie that it had a voice, but it didn't really connect because it was too dark. You do that, and you do it as like a Dungeons and Dragons, Lord of the Rings type of movie, Black Cauldron could be your new franchise. But Disney's not smart enough. They always go they never want to take a risk. They always want to do the safe play. That's why Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast had the exact same script as the cartoon. E.T. was to show us alien demons are good. Um, but yeah, like that's the problem with like tell me tell me the story from a different perspective. And yeah, that is kind of why Wicked is doing so good. It tell even though Wicked is I think like I have zero interest in it. I didn't like Wizard of Oz, but I can see why audiences like it. It's telling like you're getting the story from a different perspective. Um, and that's why I think doing a I that's why the Joker movie did so well. The sequel, shit. But the Joker movie, like it was DC has more interesting villains than it does heroes. So that's why that worked. Yeah, no, Robin Williams funny, and he would have made it funnier. But dude, Will Smith just sucks as an actor. Like almost every character he plays, he's playing the same character. And he says, "Oh hell no!" at some point. There you go. There's Will Smith. He's very one-dimensional. There's been a couple things that he's done that were a little bit different, but like Pursuit of Happiness, that movie fucking blew. Um, but yeah, I would love to see a Black Cauldron, and they're making He-Man, which Masters of the Universe sucked, but redoing of the Universe has a potential. It has potential. Um, much like when they redid the when they first started doing the Transformers movies, they hadn't other than explosions, they didn't have much for the Transformers movies. So like by the third one, I was like, okay, it's done. Um, I do like that they're doing another Mummy movie. It could because the Mummy movies they just kept bringing back the same villain, and that's why it got old. And then when they finally changed the villain, they lost all the main characters. I would love to see. I would love to see. So the Batman game, Arkham, uh, Arkham Asylum was a great game, and it was a great story. And they did a trilogy of it, and like the second one was just as good. The third one was okay. It was a good way to button up the series. But they should do that in a Batman movie. Like like a show it there's a problem in Batgate prison and all of the Batman villains are there. That's how you launch a new franchise. Like you bring in the villains and you you give us a story like one night in Blackgate where Batman's got to fight through the prison, right? And you get a chance because Batman's got some great villains, a couple corny ones, but you play into it. That becomes your your uh, how you make a little bit light of it. But that's the problem is they always want to do an origin story, and then you got to spend 2 hours with this character development that it's like much like in when they did the Incredible Hulk, they did the Hulk's origin story in the first 5 minutes, all in flashback that was shown during the credits. The cat is messing with my microphone. So that's what I would do with Batman. A movie where you get to see a lot of Batman villains. And there's some really good, and that's what I really liked about the Arkham series, is there's some really good Batman characters that a lot of people just you've never seen on screen. Most movies, I don't think a Batgirl movie works as well as, and they've tried that with, the TV shows. It just doesn't work uh, without her being introduced. You can't take Batgirl without Batman. You can't. Um, DC ripped off Lovecraft for so much of their Arkham arc. They did. Yeah, absolutely they did. But I mean, to me it's not a rip off. It's an homage. And I'm okay with that. Like Marvel kills off it notoriously kills off their villains. And it's because Marvel villains are just not as interesting. You can't do that in DC. The heroes, I'd be killing off the heroes in DC because the heroes are less interesting than the villains. The villains are what that's what DC has kind of figured out, but hasn't. The problem with DC is it's corporate owned, so you get movies by committee. Blade Runner and destroyed it. I refused to watch it. I didn't watch Blade Runner 2. It's I knew it was not going to meet the tone of the original. Like too hard to do. So, just like RoboCop, they remade RoboCop. They were never going to meet because they have this. Well, people need to believe it, and it has to be realistic. No, it doesn't. If you're going to tell me in this universe things are like this, okay. Kingpin is the best villain ever. I do like Kingpin as a villain. I really do. Uh, Marvel has flopped Doctor Doom. Why they're doing Doomsday, but with Iron Man as Doom, that's so stupid. It's so dumb. So I don't know if I'm gonna go see the new Marvel Doomsday when it comes out. I'll probably watch it, just not at the theater. I will probably go see Secret Wars because Secret Wars was a big comic book growing up. Like I remember there were two big comic books that really changed in my lifetime, and they were both when I was a kid. You had Secret Wars and you had Batman: A Death in the Family. Those were huge. Because people forget Secret Wars is where Spider-Man got the black suit. Batman villains are like Dick Tracy villains. Yeah, they are. But I will say they do a really good job of giving them backstory. Like what they did in the like after Tim Burton when he left the franchise, then they were like, "Oh, we're gonna put Bane as a character in here, but we have no real backstory on him." Or like I would do like, especially if you're doing an Arkham universe, you could create Solomon Grundy as a great character. Um, to me, that's an interesting character right there. The Scarecrow, what they did in Batman Begins, I thought was great with the Scarecrow. Um, I actually would have shown like you don't need an origin story like I understand they did the Joker movie. Actually would not have done an origin story for the Joker. The Joker is a better character not knowing what his origin is. But I do like to see the rise of him. So I do like that aspect. Um, I'm trying to think like some like Black Mask. I know they did the birds. They were doing a Birds of Prey, and that turned into a Harley Quinn movie, which was stupid. Um, like they were like, oh, we have Michelle or Margot Robbie. We're gonna make all this. We're gonna build up a character. You can't do that. Harley Quinn is a side character. She's a good villain. She's a great villain, but she's a side character, and you can't make her the main character because they tried doing that with Mystique in the X Men movies. Mystique is a villain. Mystique is a villain, and apparently, they're talking about having what's her name, Rogue, um, as a villain in the new Spider-Man movie, which I think would be great. And if they have Rogue touch um Captain Marvel and take her powers, put her in a coma. Now it makes sense. Because that's the problem with Captain Marvel. They overpowered her. They did that in the MCU, which is what they call phase 4 or 5, I can't remember. But yeah, they overpowered the female villain or female characters. And it's not interesting. I don't care that the She-Hulk suddenly is stronger than the Hulk, but she's upset because a guy told her to smile more. That's not interesting at all. As as much as women can relate to it, well, women didn't go out and see it. They didn't watch it. So you just insulted your audience. And that's the whole problem. They're like, we got to get girls going to Marvel movies. Why? You did Disney has the princesses. Why are you already have you bought Marvel and Star Wars because you wanted boys to be more into Disney stuff. And then what'd you do? We have to depower all the male characters, overpower the female, and make them the main characters. Like Rey is the stupidest uh Star Wars character, the dumbest. Oh, she just suddenly has more powers than Luke Skywalker, more than Darth Vader. That's stupid. Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie, or Lady Gaga. Margot Robbie was better, but they made the mistake of making her a main character. She was great in Suicide Squad because there she would be a leader of the Suicide Squad. Makes sense through the character. Um, like that totally made sense. But when they did that, uh, Harley Quinn and I forget the name that they gave it because they were like, we this is a Harley Quinn movie, but we're not going to call it Harley Quinn movie because people would know, oh, that's stupid. It was supposed to be a Birds of Prey movie. Give me a Birds of Prey movie. That would be great. But instead, they wanted to make Harley the main character. Like Harley should have been the villain in that. Absolutely should have been the villain. Women fighting women, yeah. Lady Gaga, I she's a poor man's Madonna, and even Madonna was gutter skank. Yeah, Johnny Depp's Dark Shadows. I did like that. Here's the thing. Uh, it should have been a Netflix series. That's what. If you guys haven't watched Death by Lightning, go watch Death by Lightning. Uh 4 hour long TV shows, a Netflix miniseries about James Garfield, Michael Shannon, Nick Offerman, um, Bradley Whitfield, like good actors. Betty Gilpin, I think she's a great actress. I wish there were more, because that's the thing. Like she's a great actress, but some actresses have to use their body for you to recognize they have talent. She hasn't. And some of these people that people push, like Rosalind Pike, not a great actress. I'm sorry. And that's why she's fallen off so much. Like she's a good character actor, but not a she's not a main character. Like she's not a leading lady. And you're starting to see that from Scarlett Johansson. Like she's not using her body to sell and she's not getting like she was okay before she did the Marvel movies, but then when she started using her body to sell, you're like now when she does serious stuff, it's like, I don't know if this is as good as what you think it is. But yeah, I did like the Johnny Depp's Dark Shadows, but I would have done it as a Netflix series. I think it would have done just like Wednesday. Like I think the Wednesday show is pretty good. I do not want to see a Wednesday movie. I think you can do a show about like you could do an Adams Family movie but Wednesday's not the main character. Like doing a show with her as a main character and you're seeing okay, a story about her, the family interjects, but I don't really need to see like if you're going to do an Adams Family movie or show, just give me an Adams Family movie or show. And I really thought what's his name was good as Uncle Fester in that. Um, uh, trying to think what other uh I have no interest in seeing the new Avatar movies. Uh, another Mission Impossible. I am over that. Another Shrek movie? No. Frozen 3? No. The Batman Part 2? Okay, I'll take a look at that, but I they're not showing enough of his villains. There's some great villains that we've never seen on screen. 28 years later, Sherlock Holmes 3, that one I might watch. Hancock 2. I didn't like Hancock. Um, Practical Magic 2. Dumb. You can tell some of these are they're just cash grabs. Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. How stupid. Devil Wears Prada 2? No. Minions 3? No. Scream 7? No. Sonic the Hedgehog 4? No. Super Mario Galaxy movie? Yes. That one and The Legend of Zelda? Absolutely. I'm going to see both of those in the theater. See, when you give me what I want, I'll go see it. Beetlejuice 2? No. Um, what was the movie that they said they were gonna do it with a female cast? And I was like, that's stupid. Jumanji 3? Okay. That one I probably would. I think they really need to do a Jumanji with a new cast though. Red Notice 2? No. Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping? No. Like that honestly, that trilogy sucked. The first one was good, second one sucked. I lost interest. Hey, Larry, good to see you. Good to see you. I've been meaning I wanted to reach out to you guys, but I'm like, oh, it's the holidays. They got family. Adventures of Tintin sequel. Dude, the first one was great. Me and my son legitimately liked Adventures of Tintin. Why haven't you done that in a live action movie? Uh Austin Powers 4? No. Well, actually maybe. You can do like especially if you're making fun of itself. Yeah. Real Steel 2? Did anyone like Real Steel 1? Like why? No one asked for this. Salt 2. No one asked for this. The first one sucked. Rush Hour 4? No. Wanted to. Um, I think it's too late to do. You should have done it 10 years ago. That's the thing. They really take their time doing some of these sequels. Like they should have had when they did the Mortal Kombat movie, they should have already been like had the script already done for the sequel. For a lot of these movies like Batman, like if you're doing a franchise movie, just film two movies at once. Just do it and give me a part 1, part 2, however you want to do it. Hey Amanda, good to see you. And Ed, welcome, welcome. Um The Fighter 2? No. Beverly Hills Cop Axel F? No. Dodgeball 2? Maybe. It, with comedies you can get away with it like but you have to make fun of yourself. Act of Valor 2? I didn't even like what was Act of Valor? Oh, I did see this. The Heat 2? I don't think that's going to work. It could if you set aside all the like Al Pacino, like you can have Al Pacino and De Niro in it, but you can't have them as the main character. We've already seen the character arc. Show us new characters. A Bruce Almighty sequel? No. Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. I didn't know there was a first one. Hitman 2, again, another one where it the first the first movie they rebooted it. The reboot was okay, but the first one was great. But again, this is a franchise. Just do them right in a row. Trick or Treat 2, I will watch it. I don't know if I'm gonna pay for it at the theater, but I liked the first one, and I liked how independent the first one was. Like, it was just telling stories, Halloween stories. Constantine 2. I've been waiting for a Constantine sequel for a long time. They actually filmed it out here not too far from me, or at least parts of it. Um, The Lincoln Lawyer 2. I didn't. I tried watching the series. Like, don't give me a Hispanic guy to be a character who's clearly not Hispanic. Like, it didn't work because, the whole thing about the Lincoln Lawyer, he was a white guy and he's working with all these uh people who are nefarious undergrounds, and it shows you what a lawyer should actually be. And it doesn't work if you show me a white guy who's been privileged his whole life. Okay. And yeah, he's a scumbag lawyer. Totally get it. The name Hancock for a show sounds really bad. Well, it's a movie, but the first one was out there. The first one, it just wasn't that good. Like, the first half of the movie, I really liked. It's just like Independence Day. The first half of Independence Day, one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Second half of Independence Day, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Once the aliens, like right after they start blowing stuff up, and I'll tell you the moment that movie turns for me, when Will Smith punches the alien and says, "Welcome to Earth." That Everything beyond that is crap. It's raining. It's raining here. Uh, Madison County 2? Is that The Bridges of Madison County, a sequel to that? Like, that would be horrible. You realize Clint Eastwood is in his 90s. I would see Tintin too. I would also see a live action Adventures of Tintin. That was a good movie, a good kids movie. They're doing a sequel of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. Okay. Um, you can't do a sequel to the 1960s. They did do the movie Rat Race, which was a sequel. Like, if you're gonna reboot it, I thought Rat Race was hilarious. I loved it. I love the first half of Independence Day. The second half of Independence Day is dog shit. Well, I still love the Opie and Anthony where they made fun of Independence Day. Where it's like, David, my David, and they're like, yeah, they have Judd Hirsch, and they said, could they make him any more Jewish? They were calling him Hebe McJew because he says over the top, David, my David. Like every Jewish stereotype, they just like him, and then what was his name? The gay guy who plays David's boss. The guy with the voice like this. It was like, no, you have to be a Jewish guy, and you have to be an over the top gay guy. Go. you know, for those two characters, how much Jewish and how much gay could these two characters be? The answer would be none. None more Jewish, none more gay. I was watching the This Is Spinal Tap sequel. I got tired, so I turned it off last night. I thoroughly enjoyed, like, that's how you do a sequel. Um there were some parts of it I didn't like. I'm still not done with it, but like, you know, I didn't like them arguing over I didn't think it was funny them arguing over the music. I always liked This Is Spinal Tap when they're talking about something mundane, like, "Oh, here's what the record looks like." And you got a little bit of that in the movie, like, where they're talking about, like, the venue and stuff. I thought it was great them bringing in all these big musicians like Paul McCartney, Lars Ulrich, Chad Smith, who else? And just, and running with the jokes. And then the fact that they went back and grabbed all the actors who like Fran Drescher, um, I forget who the other ones were. But what always makes a Christopher Guest movie when they're doing the improv is the characters who come in and out. And they just come in, they do their scene and then they're out. Like they had I forget the guy's name, but he's doing like they're at an Airbnb and they're all playing and actually they were uh eating dinner and like in the middle come these ghost hunters and the one guy's a ghost hunter and heard they're doing another Kelly's Heroes. It doesn't work as a sequel. You could do it as a reboot, and you could do it either. You could do it in Global War on Terror days, but you could also, which they kind of did with that Mark Wahlberg movie, Three Kings, with him and George Clooney. That was kind of a Kelly's Heroes remake. Definitely had inspiration, but you could do it in GWOT, or you could just do it in World War II again. And I think that would you could actually do it really good. Um, the sad thing is you're never gonna top Carroll O'Connor in that. He like that movie's a great movie. Donald Sutherland's great, and he's actually there with what's his name? Gavin McLeod. Did you guys realize that's Gavin McLeod? Captain Stubing from the Love Boat plays Moriarty, the you thinking with those bad waves. He's like, "I've been thinking about that bridge all day." Like, that's classic because of those little interactions. Like, those 2 were great on scene together. Um, and then, uh, obviously Kelly, with Telly Savalas' character, great scenes there, but Carol Connor steals the show as the general who's just oblivious as to what the hell's going on. But you could do a reboot, absolutely. A sequel, I don't think so. But a reboot, yeah, you could do. Um, damn it, what was okay, I'm looking back through my stuff. Someone got mad at me the other day where they were doing a female reboot, and I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this. Rickles was good, but like he didn't have to like he was just being Don Rickles. And that's the thing. Like he didn't make the movie, he just amplified the movie. Pay attention to all the background hints and insanity programming. No, this is not what I'm looking for. Damn it. Some days I really hate Facebook. Sorry guys. I'm trying to find what movie this was that they said they were rebooting. No, it's not it. Uh, because this guy was really, really mad about it. Mm. Was it? No. Was it Lethal Weapon that they were talking about turning it into an all women movie, like rebooting it? The remake of Ben-Hur, really, yeah, like, when it's, like, a big movie like that, that everyone loves, you can't remake it. You couldn't remake Wizard of Oz at like, using the same script. Like, they tried doing it with, uh, what was it? They did Psycho. They did a remake of Psycho, and it sucked. Like, you can't remake it. Like, you could tell it from a different aspect, and it'll work, but people don't wanna see the same thing done worse. Uh, okay. Nope, not that one. Cool Runnings. That's what it was. They're talking of remaking Cool Runnings with a female cast. How stupid is that? Like, that's stupid. I will never watch that. First off, Cool Runnings only worked because of John Candy. So, like, you take John Candy out of it, it would be a campy movie. Maybe people would love it, but not the way they love it. And then yeah, redoing it with all women. Like Cool Runnings, what worked about Cool Runnings is it was actually based on a true story. There was a lot of Hollywood changes to what actually happened, but it was based in a true story. Um, yeah, like now because of wow, I'm getting a real storm out here. Uh, I really love Quentin Tarantino movies. I'm not. I'm not a Quentin. Look, I don't hate Quentin Tarantino. I think too many people are way up his ass. It just, "Oh, this is great." This is a picture of a girl, she's wearing an all black thing, like, clearly made to look like, Black Widow, and it says, "Can someone turn her into a superhero, please?" And one of the first things someone says is, "I'm not killing her uncle." Oh, I'm gonna have to end this here soon. Yeah, I do watch a lot of the background stuff. I do enjoy some of that stuff. Like I said, my one buddy was an actor for years in Hollywood, so I really like when I know he's in something, looking for him. Um, he tried talking me into doing a couple movies. He was like, "Yeah, if you take your uniform, you can be extra." I would actually probably more enjoy working with the extras, trying to make sure that they're more accurate. Hmm. Someone posted some interesting pictures from out here in the desert when it snowed many years ago. We do get snow. We do. Um, yeah, they should be grabbing movies that weren't that good and then remake those. Yeah, I'm gonna get going here soon. All right, guys. You all have a good day. Uh, I will as well. And as always, thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze, and birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, wanting just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.